Now, the assertion message was developed by Robert Bolton, and in his book People Skills has been reprinted over and over. It was first printed in 1988, and then it's been reprinted numerous times up until 2005. And it's a very thorough communication skills reference. And Bolton says that the goal of an assertion message is to change the behaviour which is intruding on us or upsetting us. And the assertion message contains three important components. The first one is a non-judgmental description of the behaviour to be changed. So being able to describe that behaviour clearly. And the second part of it is how you're feeling using an I statement. And the impact or effect of the other person's behaviour is the third part of it. So it goes like this. You might start the description by saying, when you, and you describe the behaviour. I feel, and you describe your feeling. And then you say because, and you describe the impact or consequences on you. So here's an example of how that might look. This might be this late team member coming to the meeting late. Here's an example of the three parts. You might say, when you arrive late to our team meetings, I feel frustrated and annoyed because I need to repeat key points for your benefit, which waste mine and other people's valuable time. So you're using an assertion message there, but there are other important parts, other factors in the assertion message. These are things like your intention. Remember, this is normally to change the behaviour. And also consideration to the words and tone you use and your body language, which needs to be composed and confident. And also your preparedness to listen to the needs of others. So the assertion message is not enough on its own. That's the start of it, and then you need to be able to listen to the needs of others. So here's another assertion message about someone who's submitting reports late. You might say something like, when you submit unchecked, incomplete reports right at the deadline, I feel really angry because it's your responsibility to check your work, and when you haven't, I then need to stay back late to correct the report, which not only impacts me, but my family as well. So you can see that that's quite a strong message there. But if that's appropriate for the situation, that's what needs to be said in a skillful way. Because I statements are an important component of assertiveness. They're an excellent tool to help you communicate what you need. And you use an I statement when you need to let the other person know you're feeling strongly about the issue. Now, your I statement is not about being polite, but it's not about being rude either. It's about being clear and taking ownership of your experience. So an I statement tends to start with these words: I want, I need, or I feel. Okay, so you're actually expressing your wants, your needs, or your feelings with an I statement. Let's have a look at an example of what not to do. So if someone's submitting reports late, it's very easy to get angry, and you might say something like, you're always late with your reports and you never check them before submitting them. You have no idea how much this impacts on me. But once we've said those words, once they're out of our mouth, this is likely to escalate the situation quite quickly. So you want to practice these I statements so you can use an I statement instead. You might say something like, Frank, I need you to submit your reports on time, and I want you to have checked them thoroughly before submitting them. Do I have your commitment to doing this in the future? Because you're much more likely to get commitment to behaviour change through this style of communication. Plus, you'll feel more in control. And obviously, it's about being able to listen to Frank as well.